Hi. Hi, y'alls. Just wanted to do a quick 45-minute live before I have to head to the link so I could go and sit around in the airport for 5 hours. Hey, girl. Wired Wild Whisper says hi. What time is it over there for you? Is it evening, morning? Mine is evening. Mine is 10:37 p.m. right now. I just wanted to do a quick hello. I don't even know if people are up, to be honest. Oh, yours is 3:30 p.m. Oh, okay, so you're definitely up. It's afternoon for you. Are you in the future then? Are you already Wednesday? Is that what it is? Morning, Alex. Is it Alex Raf Alex? Yeah, I don't know who in the world is up at this time of night usually, since I don't usually do lives around this time. Sometimes I have, but not very much. Wired Wild Whisper says, coming into September 11th for you, a day to remember. Oh, globally. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. 9/11. Um, hey, Alex Raff, Italianis is okay. Okay. Wired Wild Whisper says, yes, I have lotto numbers. Wouldn't that be nice? Though I will say that folks that have won the lotto, I think it's been a mixed blessing for them. I feel like if you win the lotto, you have to be given the option to keep your anonymity. Like, you would hope that nobody knows who you are. Because sometimes people switch up on you. Like, people switch up and they're not like, you know what I mean? You can't trust it. Sometimes people suddenly have ill motives. Mel, hi. How am I doing? I'm doing okay. I'm a little bit sleepy. I'm a little bit nervous about the fact that I know that I need to sleep. But like, how can I fully sleep when I have to leave so early for the 6 a.m. flight? I really didn't think it through when I chose a 6 a.m. flight. Diana said, hello, miss this community so much. Oh, hey, Diana. But yeah, no, I'm a little bit nervous. Okay, so here's the deal. My flight it's at 6. And I had this whole conversation with folks in the morning about like how early do they typically go to the airport. And I'm a 3-hour person. Like, other folks were like an hour to an hour and a half. And I'm like, that's cutting it too close for me. I need to be there like 3 hours in advance. Some people are like 2.5 hours. And sometimes it's just dependent on the airport and all these different things. Well, I'm still planning. I still want it to be 3 hours ahead of when I fly out. But that would put it at 3 a.m. No, I don't want to get an Uber though. So the only other option is to go on the link at night and get there like at 1 in the morning, which means that I'm going to be waiting for 5 hours. So part of me's like, I don't even feel like I can sleep. Like, when am I going to sleep? Because a part of me is going to be nervous that I'm going to miss my flight. So it was like, it was a bad choice to leave at 6. Like, I should have chosen a later flight. It was probably the cheapest flight. That's probably why I chose it. You're a 2-hour in advance person, Mel. I mean, 2 hours I think is probably reasonable. But see, either way, like, I don't have any options. Nobody really wants to drive that early. Because if I needed to be there at 3, someone would have needed to drive me over there starting maybe at 2-ish. So I understand why nobody wants to do it. Summer Brummer said, hey, so Emma Watson is following Luke on Instagram. This is what I heard. What do people think that means? I mean, is she just a fan? Are they doing a project together? Wired Wild Whisper says, you will be tired, but you will rest at your destination. Bon voyage, lady. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to a bocce tournament, so I feel like I have to... I feel like maybe I'm just going to force myself to sleep on the plane. Sometimes I tell myself I'm going to sleep and then I don't sleep. But on this flight, I feel like I have no choice because there's always going to be a part of me that's like nervous that I'm going to miss the flight. I definitely made a bad decision choosing 6 o'clock, 6 a.m. Do y'all, when you choose a flight, are y'all like you would rather take a morning flight than a night flight, or, you know, or you have to have it at a certain time? Like, Or do you go for just like, what's the cheapest? Like, what's the cheapest flight you can take? Also, did anybody have any thoughts with what Summer Bummer provided about Emma Watson following Luke? Any thoughts on that? Wired Wild Whisper says arrival at destination. Arrival at destination. Rest at your arrival at the destination. Okay, maybe that's what you meant. Dowsy49 said morning flight. Oh, you do prefer a morning flight. Does anyone think that maybe Luke is doing a project with Emma? Because that's kind of an out of the blue follow, don't you think? But I mean, maybe she's just a fan of Bridgerton. Maybe she finally got to watch Bridgerton and she's like, oh, thank you, Dowsy49, for the gift. Mel said, I've always done morning flights, but it's so weird being so early when it's like 3, 4 in the morning. Yeah. Wired Wild Whisper said, that's my goal, to choose best arrival time. Oh, got it. For whatever time I have to do at destination. See, that's kind of what I did for this one. Because I wanted to arrive before check-in time. But like not so far beyond check-in time. So this would land me around 1 something over there. And then it would take me another hour or so to get over to the hotel. So it would be like slightly before check-in time. And sometimes when you get there slightly before check-in time, they'll let you check in, you know. Elichada said, depends on where I'm going and time of arrival. Yeah. So nobody has thoughts on the whole Emma Watson following Luke thing? Is that just is that just me and Summer Bummer that has any thought on that? The Greenberg Brigade said, whatever the direct flight is, I don't do layovers. I hear you. Like when we went to Japan, my niece and I went to Japan, that was one of the things. We didn't do a layover. We just did a straight flight. And I mean, that's what people suggested that we did, to do a direct flight. Watching Lady said, good morning from Germany. Good morning, Watching Lady. Michelle says she's also following Gregory Will T. Thank you, Watching Lady, for the gift. Okay, interesting. And those are the only 2 Bridgerton folks that she's following? Well, maybe she is just a Bridgerton fan, though. But interesting that she's not following, like, Jonathan Bailey or Luke. Well, I guess does Jonathan Bailey and Luke Thompson doesn't have a social media, right? But Jonathan Bailey should, right? Does Jonathan Bailey have one? Oh, Mel said, me finding out here and now. Okay, so you're like, I haven't even thought about it because I just found out right now. Summer Bummer said, she only follows 120 people, so it is sort of random. I would love to see them work together. I think it would be really great. And I think, okay, so Wired Wild Whispers and Mel and Watching Lady all confirmed that Jonathan Bailey does have social media. I think it would be really wonderful if he is doing a project with her. You know, I feel like, you know, he's been getting a lot of flack for not having any jobs lined up, but that doesn't mean he hasn't been trying. I'm sure he has gone. Well, I shouldn't say I'm sure because it's not like I know his schedule, but like I would assume that he's been putting in the work and doing auditions. It's just sometimes it just doesn't, it's a grind and it's work to try to get a job. It's not like just because somebody's going to an audition that they automatically going to land that role. And so I think, you know, sometimes people are like, oh, well, all we see is vacations. Well, maybe that's what, you know, what is he going to show you that he's, like, they're not even supposed to probably talk about, like stuff that they're auditioning for, you know? Thank you, Watching Lady. Because, you know, if you don't get it, you don't get it. And probably people don't want to talk about movies that haven't been officially announced or anything like that. Because how many times do we ever find out after the fact who auditioned for certain roles in a movie that we love? And then we're like, whoa, I could never imagine so-and-so doing that role because this person did this role so great or whatever. So we never know about like the auditioning process, I feel like. Diana said, I feel like they would definitely get along. Wired Wild Whisper says, Jay Bayleaf, is that it? I think so. The Greenberg Brigade said, I feel like it's interesting considering she only follows 120 people. So does she only follow 120 people including Luke? Or is it now 121 because of Luke. Maybe she wanted to round out her number. No, just kidding. The Greenberg Brigade said her follows look very intentional. Okay. What kind of follows does she usually do? Are they work related usually or other related? Mel said maybe the projects he has lined up won't be out for a while, pre-production and everything. That's another thing. We don't know necessarily. It could be that too. The Greenberg Brigade said including Luke 120. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, Summer Bummer said Emma also does stuff. Ugh, man, I always forget how to say this. I always forget how to say that word. But with Loewe. I just know that it's not how it's spelled to me. Anyways. So maybe it has to do with that. Possibly. Watching Lady said, but Luke is the first one. The first one, first one of what? Elenella says she follows as well. Will Tilson. Jenny said, Loewe. Oh, I think that's right. Yeah, Loewe. I just heard that pronunciation. Wired Wild Whisper said. I mean, I'm just gonna be telling you right now, the amount of like lives you have probably seen with me where people advise me how to pronounce a word because I'm like, I don't know how to say that. And then everybody writes it so different for the most part. But Loewe is what I'm saying here. But yeah, no, so either she's a Bridgerton fan because she followed both Luke and Will. Because, I mean, Will, that's an interesting choice too, right? Or maybe she's doing a project, which would be very cool. I mean, it would be so exciting. I think people would truly be excited for Luke once they hear of some sort of project. Wild Wild Whisper says, say it with confidence. You will never be wrong. I don't know about that. How, like, forever, I kept saying it. Okay, let me see if I got this right now because it took me forever to say it properly. Okay. Mel just brought it up. Do you remember how to pronounce? Okay. Chez? Is it Chez? Chez Lounge? Chez. Right? Was that right? Oh. Shays? Oh, I already forgot. I told Flower with Stars that I would forget. Like, because then everybody started telling me how to say it again in different ways. I know it's like Chez Lounge? Chase? I know it's not Chase, because that's what I used to say, but it's wrong. The Greenberg Brigade said it looks like she follows very high-profile names and overall work-related, lots of big names. Okay, so very interesting. So why do you think that she followed both Luke and Will, but not Jonathan Bailey? So, I mean, because I feel like if she followed both she followed Luke, Will, and Jonathan Bailey, because they all have social media, it would make sense that she's into the Bridgerton men, you know? I mean, like, not that way, but like into Bridgerton. So, but to choose only two of them, maybe she just didn't know how to find Jonathan Bailey. So, the first one I said, Shays. Okay. M. Phillips, hey, yo, how long have you been here? You're my favorite when you say that, M. Phillips. I'm like, oh, it feels like home when M. Phillips says that. Not very long, because I'm just doing a 45-minute live before I have to head to the link to go towards the airport. The Greenberg Brigade said, oh, I would guess she met them. Oh, possibly. The Greenberg Brigade said, I noticed a lot of actors start following each other after they meet. Oh, smart. So I wonder where they would have met. Because the plot thickens there, Greenberg Brigade, because now I'm like, where did they meet? Where did she see them recently? Both of them? Did she follow Will the same time that she followed Luke? What's the difference? I mean, when did she follow? She just followed recently. Did she follow Will first? Did she follow Luke first? Did she, is she in, is she going to be in Bridgerton? Does she have a scene? I don't know. And Philip says, good. The Greenberg Brigade said, although Luke isn't following her. That's, um, you know, that just tells me that Luke is not. Did he even notice? Did he even notice? And Philip says, waiting for the still watching screen for season 3 before going to sleep. Oh, that reminds me. Like, hopefully, I don't know if there is at least 1 or 2 more days for, like, watching for the 91 days. I know that there are people that said it was September 16th. I've heard September 11th, September 13th. I lean more towards the fact that if it at least released the 13th or the 14th, -2, because there's 31 days in July. And, well, I guess I shouldn't say -2. I should say -1. 12. So I feel like it would be more like either September 13 or September 12. I don't know. Okay, you thought it was 12. Yeah, and then Mel says I'm still watching till the 16th. Yeah, because I just really don't know. But 91 days, I think, falls either the 12th or the 13th, but probably 12th. Either way, we got another 400,000 views this week, which is good because that stayed right in the same vein, like literally the same amount as the week before. So that means no views were lost between one week to the other, which is good. Okay, so the Greenberg Brigade said it looked like Will has been following Emma for a while. Okay, but Will is following her. Okay. So I wonder if Will just met her at a different time than Luke. I wonder when Emma, if we're going by your premise, Greenberg Brigade, that she started following him because they met each other somehow. Like, I would be intrigued to know where that would have been if she did. Dowsy49 said, have a good flight night. It is 1:53 a.m. here. Thanks, Dowsy49. And Philip says, I'm going the distance. I'm going for speed. LOL. Mel said, and after I'll still have at least one screen always playing it because I'm still so obsessed. Oh, I love that. Lynn29 said, wait, what did I miss? Who's Will and Emma? Will's the one who plays Gregory, right? Am I wrong? I've been having that mentality in my head this whole time. I could be wrong. The Greenberg Brigade said, oh, and we're talking about Emma Watson, Lynn29, because Emma Watson started following Luke. The Greenberg Brigade said it looks like Emma and Will followed each other a while ago. Luke is her most recent follow. Huh. I'm really intrigued now. If the premise was correct, Greenberg Brigade, which I suppose we don't know definitively if it is. But if it is a possibility, I wonder, when would she have met him? What event would that have been? Oh, but then y'all said she is involved in this Loewe, if I remember right. So maybe that is the case. Nicole is Emma Watson. When you say who's Emma, it's Emma Watson that we're talking about. She just recently followed Luke. So Greenberg Brigade says she definitely didn't follow them at the same time. Lynn29, he's not following her back yet. I'm sure he'll follow her back once he notices. She followed him. But she followed him. But I heard that he hasn't followed her back yet. And Philip says, I'm going to wake in 2 hours for my second TV, but my first TV is only 30 minutes away from still watching. So F. Phillips, yours does the still watching. I think there is an option to turn that off so it doesn't ask you still watching. Like it'll just continually, it'll just play, But I don't know how to do it because mine automatically defaulted to that, so it never asked me if I'm still watching. Ren S.A. said hello. Hello. And Philip says, Emma Watson? Yes. Yes. So I didn't know if maybe they're doing a project together or she's just a Bridgerton fan. Lynn29 said, oh. And Philip says, interesting. Zigzag underscore elf said, maybe Emma is just late to the ship. Yeah, Nicole said, interesting. Miss Fancy, good evening. Mel said, how? Tell me, Phoebe. How did they meet? I don't know how they met. Have they met? I'm just intrigued by that because that was Greenberg Brigade's offering, like that perhaps like she might have met them, because like usually the idea is like people sometimes follow each other once they've met each other, which makes sense. And Philip says, I have not found it. It asked me after 2 hours, 35 minutes, and then as long as I don't turn off Netflix. Oh, bummer. I wish I could tell you where I found it, but I didn't have to find it. It just defaulted to that, which is kind of interesting that it did. And Philip says it won't ask me again. Jennifer said, hello. Hello, Jennifer. Miss Fancy said, catch me up. There's nothing to catch up with, Miss Fancy. Just we were talking about how Emma Watson started following Luke. And apparently Luke has not followed her back yet. But so we were just playing around with the idea of like, you know, what compelled her to do it. Is she just a Bridgerton fan? Is she doing a project with Luke? Did she just meet Luke recently at an event and got to know him that way? Who knows? Sorry, my nose. Okay, I know y'all are probably really irritated with me because y'all have given me tips on what to do with my nose, but yet here I am still. And also, here's the thing I'm concerned about. Like, I'm feeling like a tickle in my throat. And I'm like, don't you dare. Not when I'm going on a trip. You know how that always works? I'm like, look, I have been in the visited my friend for like 2 weeks in those hospital wearing my face mask. I haven't been sick. And now, like, I'm ready to go on this trip. Don't you dare. Mel said, only my laptop plays all the way. My TV and iPad ask at random times. Ooh, maybe that's what it is, Mel. Maybe that's what it is. Because I have been watching on the laptop. And it just plays all the way. And it never asks me. Zigzag underscore elf said, is Emma following Nick? Does anyone know? I mean, I didn't even check Emma Watson's stuff to see this. But people said Emma Watson's only following 120 people. So he's the 120th, I guess. So I don't know if she's following Nick. Miss Fancy said, ooh, I hope a project. Me too, actually. I really do. Tiffany B said Emma followed Will too. I heard that she followed Will a while back. I guess at least that's what Greenberg Brigade believes. And Greenberg Brigade says Nick will probably be heading to LA in the next day or two for the Emmys. New me, been me. Bring Ginger. Ginger? The baby? What? The red hair? Like, what? Rena said, oh, heck no. That tickle lasted 10 days, jumping from person to person in my house. No! No, I'm speaking again. Oh, gosh. What should I do? What should I do? How can I be proactive? What do I need to get rid of this before it, like, latches? Zigzag underscore elf said, maybe after seeing the Emmys presenter list, Emma started following presenters and adjacents. Nah, I don't know about that. That would be a big old list, and she only follows 120 people. And I don't think she is. I mean, did she follow? But she doesn't. She doesn't follow Nicola. Lynn29 says, "Who's Nick?" Probably they're talking about Nicola there. It's my guess. Lynn29. Okay, she does. Yeah. Greenberg Brigade says she doesn't follow Nicola, so. Rena said, I don't even know who Emma Watson is. Stop it, Rena. Rena, are you pulling my leg right now? Are you pulling my leg right now? You do not know who Emma Watson is. Stop it. Are you playing me? Because I'm very trusting. And I'm going to take you legitimately at your word that you don't know who Emma Watson is. Because you're doing that emoji of like melting. Like what? Stop it. Are you kidding me? Are you playing with me? Okay, I better read the rest of the comments to know if you're playing with me. Zigzag underscore elf says, sorry, I didn't mean adjacents in the sense that we know them. I really just meant Bridgerton people. I understood what you meant. Jennifer said she is not, just checked. Lynn29 said, oh, Nick. And Phillips says only 120 people, even more interesting. The Greenberg Brigade said only Will a while ago, and now Luke. Oh, you, me, bin me said ginger for your throat. Okay. Like straight up ginger, just like by itself. Like, what am I supposed to do? Chew on it? Swallow it? What does it do to me if I take ginger ASAP? Um. Oh, Mel said emergency, zinc, elderberry. Lynn 29. Does she follow the adjacent? I highly doubt it. She follows 120 people and they're all pretty famous. So she doesn't, I don't think that she has the criteria to be followed. Mel said lemon ginger tea with honey. The Greenberg Brigade said Nick would have been followed if she was following presenters. Yeah. Okay. Rena said, oh, I'm not a Harry Potter fan. Maybe that's why I don't know her. Wait a minute. Who told you? Did I miss it when somebody told you? Oh, you did. Okay, it was Greenberg Brigade. And see, it's because I don't usually read things that have ats. So I'm like, how did you know if you don't know her? And they're just going, oh, okay, got it. I'm sure Emma Watson has been in other movies aside from Harry Potter, though. But what would it be? Now that you bring that up, I'm like, what other movies has Emma Watson been in? I like her, but what other movies has she been in? Ooh, wasn't she in some Wallflower movie? Can't remember. Mel said day and NyQuil, kick it before it sets. Zigzag _ Alf said also sleep, girl, get some sleep. Okay, I don't know how I'm going to do that, Zigzag, because literally being at the airport for 5 hours, but always fearing that I'm going to oversleep. And next thing I know, I've missed the flight. There's just so many thoughts going through my brain. Lynn 29 said, I'm going to go look. Rena said, I went and looked at her Insta. No, don't know. And Phil said, Bonnie said she's not. I'm just saying. I mean, it wasn't that she's not important. I just meant she's important to the people she's important to. I just don't think she would be important to Emma Watson because, Greenberg Brigade says she looked at her follow list and most of them are work related and stars, famous people, and she's not any of those things. So that's not a knock on importance because she's important to the people she's important to. Miss Fancy says she must have caught up on Bridgerton. LOL. Yes, the only thing that's getting me is that she hasn't followed Jonathan Bailey. But maybe because if she watched season 3, but then Jonathan Bailey was in that one, so I don't know. Oh yeah! Oh, how could I forget Tammy? Beauty and the Beast. Yes. How could I have forgotten? The Greenberg Brigade said she has been in other things, but they were small films. Zigzags said Emma Watson was Meg in Little Women, Greta Gerwig's version. Oh, did I watch that one? I've seen several different Little Women, I feel like. Did I watch that one? Who were the other stars in that one? Yeah, Ann Phillips, Perks of Being a Wallflower. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Sorry. I just read your comment to Greenberg Brigade to Ann Phillips about... well, maybe it is shade. I wasn't trying to be shady, but I guess it is shade. But is it shade or is it factual? I feel like I'm just being factual. Is it not factual? Isn't it factual, though? Is she supposed... I mean, she's not famous, is she? She's not a star. Is it shady to say that? I think that's just a factual statement. I think. Mel said, perks of a wallflower, shoes, bling, ring. Oh, what? Shoes, bling, ring? Are those other movies that she's been in? I've never heard. Rita said, OMG, how many Harry Potter movies are there? Lynn 29 said back, she's not following. Just thought you'd like to know. I would like to say I was 100% sure that she was not. And Philip said, sure, Jan. Well, I'm just saying. Nick Rich says, just joined. What about Nicola and Bessie's beef? Unfollowed each other. Isn't that an old beef that got resolved already? Why did they unfollow each other recently? As far as I know, they resolved that and they were okay. Oh, Zigzag. Phoebe, it was, I also forget how to say her name. But, Sarcy? I don't know how to say her name. But anyways, who's an Irish actress, was Jo in Greta Gerwig's Little Women. Okay, I did watch that. Miss Fancy said it was factual. The Greenberg Brigade said it can be both fact and shade. Okay. Well, I guess, okay, you know what? You're right. And Philip says, no, I get you, Phoebe. Always kind-hearted and well-meaning, but factual. But Lynn 20 says, I said that's not shady. You know what, though? I can understand, though. I can accept this. It can be both fact and shade. Because it is factual and yet not necessary for me to point out. The shade came in the fact that I felt the need to point out. But I think I was responding to just say, like, why she wouldn't be following her. But still, I can understand. I can own it. It can be shady, but yet strong in the facts. Jennifer says, Timothy oh my word, I can never say my word. Why is everything so difficult? Was in Little Women. Okay. 4K NK said, good evening. Oh, okay. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I stand corrected. I saw clips of that version of Little Women. And I never actually watched that version. That's what that's suddenly what yeah. Okay. Anna said it's about the nepotism issue. Lynn 20 said, what happened with Nick and Bessie? Again, I felt like wasn't that already, like kibosh? That was already dealt with. I thought they fixed that. Mel said Saoirse, and Philip said Saoirse, but written differently. Zigzag _L said, I didn't know there was Bessie beef. I heard nothing. Yeah, that was, it happened a while back. Zigzag _L says, what was the Bessie beef? Again, someone shared it earlier that it was potentially the nepotism comment. She didn't. I don't think Nicola ever said something about her specifically, but she just talked about. I've only ever heard Nicola talk about like how she's worked hard, and, nothing's ever been handed to her, kind of thing. And I think just nepotism conversations came up. Maybe it was just the timing of it all because Nepo Baby became like a thing on social media. But as far as I know, I believe that got resolved between the two of them. And it's kind of interesting it's being brought up again, unless something recent happened, that like a recent unfollowing or something. Wired Wild Whisper says, recent articles online hint Emma is dipping into directing and producing. Oh, please let them be doing a project together. Please let them be doing a project together. And Philip says that, is it sir or sure? LOL, I love it either way. Chalamet. Oh, Chalamet. Okay, thank you, Mel. Chalamet. Okay, so the Greenberg Brigade said that's the rumor, but she has not clarified it since it's not that. Okay, it's not that? I thought it was that too, but okay, so it wasn't even that. Tammy said, ladies, can you tell me how many more days we're looking at watching season 3? I genuinely don't know, Tammy. I think it's probably September 12th. However, there was another party back in the day that said September 16th. I don't think it makes sense to say September 16th because there's 31 days in July and August. However, just to be safe, it might be worth going until September 16th. But it also doesn't make sense because it goes from Sunday to Sunday. So I really do think it's probably like September 12th, to be honest. But if you want to be safe, just go to the latest one. And I'm hoping that Netflix will just say, like, put out an article and say, hey, like, Bridgerton season 3 after the 91 days is like number 6 at this many by this date. I don't know. I don't know if they will or not. And Philip says, because Susan Sarandon's version is the best Little Women, it is what it is. um, Ren042691 said, what do you think will happen in season 4 when Luke and Nick starts filming? I genuinely don't know, because the dynamics will be different, not because of everything that's happened outside of them, but simply because it's not going to be as intense for the two of them as it was when they were filming as the leads. So they're going to have some scenes together, obviously, as married couples. I mean, ideally, I would love them to have a moment like Ryan Gosling had with is it Eva Mendes? Eva Mendes? Yeah. When he was like, they had to play a married couple and it made him want to have a life with her kind of thing. Like, I would love that to happen, but at the same time, most likely they will have far more limited time filming with each other. It won't be as intense. And so whereas last time 8 months were just the two of them for the most part, as Luke had once said in the interview, I don't think that's going to be the case this time around for them. They're going to have less scenes to film. But I think it's going to be really good for them to be back in the family. And I think that's where Luke feels really at home, you know? Zigzag_elf said, someone can talk about how they have to work hard without it instantly meaning they disrespect people who had help. I don't think Nick was throwing shade. Oh yeah, definitely not. She was not. I don't think that was even thinking about her. And again, Greenberg Brigade said that wasn't it. So I don't know then what it was if that wasn't the issue. But either way, I still heard that they resolved it. I don't know if that's the case or not, but that's what I heard. Anna said September 11 is the last day. I mean, possibly. I just get nervous because, like, Netflix never fully said. But, I mean, if you're doing the math, it depends on if you think it's June 13 or June 14. But -2, or -1. I don't know. It's too late at night. I can't think. Ella Chada said, have to get some sleep. These high school kids are draining. Good night and have a safe flight. Thank you, Ella Chada. Zigzag said, considering Bridgerton season 1 came out in lockdown and during Christmas holidays, I think season 3, even coming close to those views, is a win. Oh, definitely. And plus, we smashed the competition, the rest of the competition for the summer, apparently, right? So there's a lot to be proud of for how much fans have kept season 3 like high up there. I'll be here for another 6 minutes unless I run out of things to read in the 6 minutes. Then I'll probably end early. We'll see. Lynn29 said article would be nice of them to say. Zigzag said I grew up with the Susan Sarandon version in the 90s. Anna said they have fewer screen time. Yeah. The Greenberg Brigade said, I want episode 1 steam with Luke and Nick, and they better interrupt at least one of Benedict's scenes. Fair is fair. No. Diana said, wonder if they would want to still share a trailer. Oh. I mean, it might still be fun. They may still do that. Mel said more time for trailer naps. DKT said less screen time, more time home alone. Diana said they probably miss each other. I think they do. I think that's going to be really just a great homecoming in a lot of ways to come back into the set. The Greenberg Brigade said, Bessie said she was comparing herself to the other actresses and it got her down, so she unfollowed. Oh. Zigzag said, and Lucilla is ship of the year. Absolutely. Ship of a lifetime in our eyes. DKT says, I want a scene with that table they have built. It can take an intimacy scene. And Phillips says, yes, they do want to share a trailer. They love each other. Letting my Delulu flag fly. I think they probably will still, you know. I mean, why not? I mean, they might still want to practice their scenes. Like, you know. Mel said, for sure. Yeah, the Greenberg Brigade said they should share a trailer. They're married. Yes, married. DKT said, let's see how sturdy it is. Oh, by the way, DKT, like, so just like I did Eden's yesterday, like some of y'all probably have seen my story about DKT's account. I've been loving reading them things. I was like, I'm intrigued. I'm reading all of this stuff. So, like, hopefully more people have found you. Because your stuff is fun. Diana said, Lucula is my first and only ship, and it's crazy how it's consumed so much of my life. Yeah. I mean, I think we love, and, we hope, at the end of the day, like, obviously they're going to make their own decisions. I think Lucula is endgame if they want to be, but we'll see if they choose to be. But I hope they do. Mel said, married with a baby. A red-headed baby that hopefully Colin will sing. Oh, what if Colin sings to the baby in the first episode? Yes, that would be so fun. Zigzag said, Diana, same here. My life has been a blur since early June. DKT says, thank you so much. Yeah, no, I really, like, thank you. Because I really appreciate it, like, having somebody else's, like, perspective or thoughts around stuff. Like, I just think it's fun. Felicia said, I love DKT. She's amazing. And Philip says, that killed me. I forwarded it to both of my sisters who are lawyers to ask if I had a case. Oh, Valencia's skit too. Valencia cracks me up. I love the way she thinks. Zigzag says, we love, but we're still collectively very unwell. LOL. Is it, Chelle? What's that? Chelle? Bird said, Busy Bee has had another amazing reading tonight. Anna said, I love DKT as well. Just found her recently. It gives me hope. Mel said, let him sing. Let him sing. Okay, Shellbird. Okay, Shellbird. Okay. Rin 042691 said, Lucula forever. DKT says, I try to be the sound of reason. Okay. Any other things that folks want to discuss in the last minute? Actually, it's the last minute, so I probably just need to just say thank you for spending time with me for like 45 minutes. For those who were here from the start of this live. But like, hopefully, I don't know, y'all. I'm like, I need to sleep in the airport, but I'm nervous. Like, do y'all ever like feel nervous when you're like, I don't want to oversleep, Zigzag says, Nick's giggle when she says, let him sing. Oh, my heart. The Greenberg Brigade, good night. Mel said, thank you. Have a good night, Phoebe. Thank you. Jennifer, night. Thank you. And take care always. From Ren 042691. And have a good flight. Thank you. Thanks, y'all. Have a good night or morning or afternoon or wherever. DKT said good night, love night. Zigzag, I've always got one eye on the clock before flights, not sleeping. That's the thing. Like, I need to sleep, especially because I'm trying to fight this thing in my throat. But we'll see if it works. Good night, and Philip. See ya. New me, been me. Good night, Lynn29. Bye.